What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Chaz Emotion podcast in a section we like to call a vibe called us. Just so you can get to know us. I'm your host, Chaz London, and by my side is the beautiful, wonderful HR Danya. Would you like to be called anything else besides HR
No, I
Danya?
like you.
She likes HR
I'm
Danya.
good.
She likes to be in control, y'all. Already to a good start. Oh my god. So yeah, in this segment I just want to give you guys a little bit lowdown of what we are. We are two human beings that love each other very barely.
No, it's because of the human beings, like barely human
Oh,
being.
barely. Oh, yeah. We're barely human beings. Yeah. We're two barely human beings
Mm.
that we enjoy similar things. We definitely learned that about each other. We've been together for 5 years now, and we've learned a lot from each other and about each other. So that's always a good thing in a relationship to get to know your partner. We also have little pick me ups here too as well, just in case, because she likes to get pick me ups too. I'm a wine guy as well, thanks to her. I wasn't really much of a wine person.
I'm not either. It's just what was there.
That's true.
And I was nervous. So.
She's nervous. It's her first time. No, it's not. No,
No, it's just been a while.
yeah, it's been a while. We do a lot of like food reviews and
Mm.
stuff like that. So, vlogging. So, when it comes to podcasting, she's very new to it. And she just likes to feel comfortable around it, especially talking about topics,
I
which
mean, I could talk your ear off, but it's just, I'm like,
it depends on how you start a conversation.
well, yeah, like, I guess it's just self conscious more of that.
Self conscious.
Yeah, because you have people looking at you, people you don't know.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. So that's how I forget because I'm like, I
Hmm.
only think about the camera looking at me.
Yeah, and I don't like to look at myself either. So.
That's I love looking at myself. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just
He's so good to see you.
no, no. I mean, maybe, but it's not about I just feel good about myself. And that's how you have to feel. I know you feel good about yourself. You're beautiful. You got her makeup done. She's a makeup artist, yeah. For those
I
of you who
haven't
don't
done my
know.
makeup in a while.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I just did it quick, but I didn't know what I was doing. It's just a shadow. I mean, nothing is like too dramatic, right?
Nothing to the extreme, right? Well, I mean,
Hmm.
it's good as long as you know. I mean, do you feel like you were still good with your craft or no, or do you think you lost it?
I feel like the confidence might be a little there. Like, every makeup artist will tell you just trust the process.
Hmm.
It looks crazy for at first. It just looks, you know. But he just told me, oh, just go get a little ready and let's go record. And I was like,
Yeah, that's true.
and I don't know why I decided to do like a darker makeup, but whatever.
For a dark soul.
But I have no soul, so
Yeah, so that's why it's so dark.
man. But yeah, no, it's just I don't think I've lost. Yeah, maybe it's just a little, because when you haven't been practicing it, it's a little like. But I still enjoy it. I still enjoy the process of everything. I just haven't done the even though it's not a lot of makeup, I still haven't done this
That
in a while.
what do you think makes you go back into it, or is it that you just feel low about it right now?
About what do you mean?
About making yourself
I know I have always enjoyed it,
okay.
like the hair and everything. It was just today is just because you caught me off guard, like because I could sit there for hours, and every girl, every woman that knows makeup can sit there like the entire day, like just doing their makeup, and it will look the same, but it's just like you enjoy the process of like the skincare, the everything. It's just like you do, creating stuff.
Yeah, I enjoy the process of putting stuff together, just like you enjoy the process
Hmm.
of putting yourself together and everything
Yeah.
else. Yeah,
Or like just the creativity, because I also enjoy editing. So
yeah, that's true. She can definitely edit a lot of photos, and she definitely wants to get into more video editing as
I've
well.
done a lot of videos for him.
Yeah,
Well, for our blogs.
yeah. For our New York, she did our New York blogs, our when we were stranded in Kentucky, I believe too. So she's definitely done a lot of vlogs for the Chazbarian channel, which is amazing, and that's why I'm like, I want her to get back into flow as well.
Yeah, stop doing editing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just got stuck with work and
Oh yeah, that's
like grown up life, like like
yeah.
the just getting off work and cooking and just doing. But
Yeah, we just need to
I need to find my groove back into everything. So you're like
Mhm.
schedule yourself and stick to that.
Yeah. I know. Well, I mean, you did great for like what? It was past 40 days you stopped being on social media like that.
I needed that.
Yeah. So that's another thing too that will lose your focus on. That's one thing that I have to try to stop too. Like a lot of times, like me, for example, major example is like I like to watch things like on YouTube a lot.
News.
Yeah, a lot of news stuff on YouTube. So I'm trying to like take my mind off of the news
Yeah, cause
and stuff that's negative around the world, you know?
yeah, cause it irritates him. It gets to you.
So that's my next thing because I noticed that once I do that, like I'll be editing in the background and then I stop editing and just focus on the news instead. And that's one thing I want to try to stop doing because I feel like, you start losing yourself, losing your mental state because of all that. And then obviously bad news is always bad news.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something you don't want to hear. So that's, kudos because that's a very tough thing to do to stop social media, anything social media wise for that long, especially nowadays, like an addiction. I did stop Monsters
And I stopped drinking sodas.
and she just,
He got me. Like I was like when we were little kids, we didn't drink soda.
hmm,
We never had soda. It was always juice only. And then I mean and water obviously. But I'm saying like
yeah.
no I don't know what you guys call it, pop or whatever. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't have soda.
Like,
And then as a grown up I started drinking soda because when you go out, it's just easy.
hmm,
But he's the one that started me because he would like we would get like 12 packs because of him because he drank it like for every freaking meal and snack because
yeah.
he likes to snack.
Love snacking.
So I stopped that.
That's true. Food is definitely one of my love languages, and she knows it, and that's why I'm like, it's sometimes very hard to like distinguish whether I should get away from it or, soda is one part of my love language too, but I need to stop drinking soda, period, too.
He's addicted to sugar, just
I
like
am.
every American.
Yeah,
We're all addicted to sugar.
definitely addicted to that. So I'm definitely addicted to soda. I was addicted to a lot of Monsters, energy drinks, and luckily, we did it was, what was that for? For Lent? It was for Lent. We stopped for that long. But I actually stopped a week before we started Lent. And I didn't feel it. Like at first I'm like, I didn't really I was craving it, yes.
He was crashing
I
a
was
lot
crashing out. Like I would go from work straight to the bed,
and grumpy.
grumpy, irritated, didn't want to wake up, just like there, just
Yeah,
slumped.
it was weird.
And it was just that happened to me before. I remember it.
Yeah, he went off I think like 2 years ago again around the same time and he noticed the change but then he started going. I mean it's just Monsters that he stopped drinking but like
Hmm.
you know but it's still like it was
But
a lot. He would have
recently,
like two a day.
yeah. But recently we went to a trip to Florida and discovered a new passion of mine now of drinking
Coffee.
coffee,
Well, not just any coffee.
espresso,
Yeah, not just any espresso.
Cuban and Puerto Rican espresso.
And that shit has a lot of sugar.
It does. It has an amazing amount of sugar.
So
It has
he doesn't fall far from the tree though.
no. So, but our trip was beautiful. Like not to sidetrack from everything else,
It was
but
a short trip.
short.
It was just like
But oh my god,
the only reason we went there is because it was a one like less than a day drive,
yeah,
We couldn't because my job wouldn't allow longer. So we had to make it if anything happened, I would have to come back,
yeah,
immediately. Then and also yeah, it was just like we needed so it was just like a 12-hour drive. It's just like something that's still close. The only reason it takes that long is because you got to get out of Texas, and Texas is
yeah.
8 hours.
Just to get out. That's the crazy part.
But yeah,
But it was beautiful. But what was it? Okay? Yes. During our trip, It was pretty much a 12-hour trip.
Mhm.
And obviously, we had to take turns. And during taking turns, we obviously have our own stuff, our own music choices. So obviously, when she drives, it's her music. When I drive, it's my music.
Well, there should be like a background
Yeah,
to this. Okay, so you go with your background.
my background, what I'm into, right?
Yeah, like I feel like where you grew up also has to do with what you listen to.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Since I was born and raised in Harlem, New York, and it was an upbringing, to say the least. The music that we listened to was, it's hood music, and I listened to a lot of like rock and heavy metal as well, and it's a very different mixture of stuff. And she was in a different side of the country
Hmm.
compared to me,
Total opposite.
so her music choices were like, okay.
I'm from LA,
Mhm.
so I grew up with, he's Puerto Rican, so Dominican, like people around him. He's also Indian, right?
Yep,
So,
Guyanese. Yep.
and I'm Salvadoran, and I grew up in LA, so it's like the culture there is like merengue, Mexican music, and also like rap. It was 80s. I mean the 90s, and Tupac and Dre, and everything. So my my playlist is my. But also We left LA when I was 17, and we moved to Kansas. No comment on that, but
Was Tupac still alive when you left LA?
no, no,
No.
that was 99.
Okay, yeah.
But so then I was getting closer, in the middle of the state. So it was like I started listening to different music. It is so windy.
Yeah. You guys can't hear it, but it's windy as hell outside.
But so my playlist is like it sounds like an emotional breakdown. And that's how I love it though. That's how I like it. I like to listen like I don't know. I get bored of this and I go here, here, here. And that's just what I listen to. So my playlist is wild.
She does have a wild playlist.
And I was like rapping, I was singing, I was doing everything in the car while he was driving up. It was fun.
That was fun.
The whole
It's a
concert.
vibe. It's a whole concert. She was just singing for me, serenading, everything. It was
Should have been a singer, to be honest.
Yeah, she should have. I don't know why she quit her day job. She could have just drank, sang her sorrows, everything. So it was interesting to like have that music, those different music choices. And you have to. It's 12-hour drive. You have to like focus
It's
on it.
not only my music; it's him too. He's like playing like gaming music. I'm like, is this a gaming music, or like a movie song? I was like, isn't this like a movie, like one of those like Marvels movies that we went to see? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So it's not my podcast. Is not that weird.
you know what.
It's not that weird. I mean, my podcast. I mean, my playlist is not that weird. It's just completely opposite of what he listens to.
It is. It is complete opposite, but
Mhm.
it's good to learn each other's music, each other's cultural music as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we listen to a lot of salsa,
Hmm.
merengue, cumbia, stuff like that.
The cumbia.
Mhm.
The cumbia is what gets me.
Mhm.
All the time it gets me. But then she listens to the like serenaded like Mexican music. It's just like, and then every time I turn the car on, it's like I hear that sorrow music.
It's not so. So
It's
he's
like
describing
my man
it.
got shot right there.
It's not okay. Yeah. So my Mexican music is definitely crazy because again, there's a Mexican music. They're a vibe. Just like any Hispanic music, like we all our music. It's just like any culture, right? It's like they're in love, blah blah blah. Then the other song is like basically like "f you" this, to the girl that they love. Then the next one is what would be considered the only way that I could describe it is Mexican gangster music, but Mexican. So they're talking about shooting up people. So it's I wouldn't say cartel shit, but they're gangsters though. So I like.
She's like cartel over
I
here.
don't want to say anything like that, but But it's just, it's their gangster music, I could say, but it's just the best way I could describe it. But
She's gangster,
some of
yeah.
their songs are freaking good. And
Yeah.
I listen a lot to lyrics. Like, I be singing to him like random stuff too. He's just like, what the
But she definitely loves a lot of house music, which is something that's,
Mhm.
that's amazing. Because I did listen to a lot of house music growing up as well. Because my uncle and my pops used to listen to a lot of that.
freestyle, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
In LA.
freestyle music. Yeah, a lot of like different culture music. I mean, they got me into like rock and like AC/DC and all this other stuff. But
He's never listened to rock en español, which I taught him.
yeah, I didn't even know that existed until I got with her.
It's so good. And then the house and like freestyle is stuff that cause in LA there was like party crews. So it was like all ditching parties, and it was like, they had like underground parties, and it was if you look LA party crews in the 90s, you can see like it was a whole vibe back in the 90s when I was growing up. So that's the music.
A different vibe.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's our music culture was very different.
Yeah, very different, but it's likable to the point where she likes my music, I like hers as well. We are open to different music. Music she probably can't stand is the gaming music.
I think it's hilarious. I'm like, what is the vibe here?
It's like
Like what's happening? Like
she will never understand.
I won't. I probably won't, because like you have to
Be in that lifestyle.
yeah. Yeah, it's something like it's there's that's why everybody has their own thing,
Yeah, true.
I think it's cute, that's all. Like, and then he has like music that he's recorded, so we listen to that too, and I'm like, I caught that really quick. I'm like, isn't that you? Like,
That's your voice? Like, yeah. So for those of you that don't know, I do create a lot of music.
we've recorded it.
Yeah, she's even held the camera, recorded videos for me.
Makeup, yeah,
Yeah, she's even done my makeup for a lot of these cool little
clips and
clips. Yeah, which is amazing. She even did the makeup for me to look like Johnny Depp, and
the
she did
Shein, literally.
the Shein version, the Temu version.
Temu.
Yeah, the Temu version of Johnny Depp, and she also did the Beetlejuice one, which was beautiful. I love the Beetlejuice one so much.
And that's just with stuff laying around the house, which is hilarious. A lot of the stuff that we do is just with normal stuff. It's not like we have anything. It's just like he wants to record something. I'm like, and I love the creative, part of that. So I'm like, of course.
That's so true.
One thing that we have very much in common.
Oh yeah.
If he says I want to record this, I'm like, let's go.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Even if it's outside at night, like we go like to random little places. The one thing that he did not do, because I had a vision for this scene, and he did not do it. He didn't want. He was scared.
I was scared, yeah, because I was in the woods, in the dark, okay, at night, and I was just like, no car, no lights, no nothing. It was
in the
pitch
middle of nowhere.
black in there.
I was
Pitch
like, go
black.
in there. I have this thing, and we could put like, because we had like some little fog machine or whatever, and he would not do it. He was like, nope.
Nope. I don't know. There's snakes or bears in there.
It's all the damn time. You wear boots.
Yeah, I don't know if they could be venomous. They can go right through the boots. I don't know.
It was like a 2-second clip.
Nah, not 2 seconds. So like, not a lifetime.
He thought about it like 2 seconds, and he was like, no.
Yeah. I looked around. I was like, there's no lights.
It was in the middle of the road.
Middle of the road. I was like, this is where it ends for me.
She wants to kill me. So yeah, there's things that he will not do, even for the culture.
Even for the culture, that's right. So I have been to a lot of concerts in my lifetime, but our first concert together was Mark Anthony.
It was a gift for my birthday, from my brother, because he knows how much I love Mark Anthony and, betting. So he gifted to,
That was beautiful, because I've never thought about going to a Mark Anthony concert, like at all. Like, I love Mark Anthony, don't get me wrong. I love it. But I've never put myself in that position, because my family's so into Menudo and Ricky Martin and all this other stuff. And yes, I've even been held by Ricky Martin and Menudo and everybody else.
Insert picture here. It's cute. Yeah, I'm not into group like boy bands.
Like boy bands, yeah. But that's
I
like,
don't no, I'm not a fan. Like I like listening to people, but I will not go out of my way to do something like to go like I'm not a
not
but
like
but
you
Mark
won't.
Anthony was right here, like
And here in Austin, yeah.
like right by our house.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Like a
So
15-minute drive, like,
yeah, but yeah,
that
so
was the beauty of that. Like he was so close, and we're like, they gifted her that, and they gifted her and me that. So I was like, oh shoot, okay, yeah. Mark Anthony, hell yeah, let's
and
go.
we got such good seats
Oh,
too.
yeah, we definitely got some great seats. But it was definitely a great vibe because everyone was singing and we were dancing on the little thing there too. So it was a very beautiful vibe, and that's that was our first actual concert together, a music concert. Because I think we've been to like shows and stuff like that, like Christmas Carol or stuff like.
My brother, he likes. We've gone like to like a few. Like we didn't go last year. I don't know why, but he likes to give. Well, my family, we are more of like not necessarily gifts, but like more of what like what's the word? I can't think of the word. It's
Can't
not
think
like
of the word.
it's a gift, but it's more of like making memories and like core memories. And so like we got together, we all go, and when I say my family, it's my siblings and they're like their partners and my nephews and stuff like that. And we go like to Christmas events or stuff like that. And so that's what we do, and we've gone to a lot of those like light festivals and where we got poured on. Our car got messed up, full of mud and everything, but it was fun.
It was a fun experience though.
And then like Christmas Carol, and then the Grinch, where my whole family wore the Grinch, and that's something new that we've been doing because obviously we didn't grow up doing stuff like that because we just had a single mom. So so now we like want like there's this thing of like having core memories like as a family and like
Which is always good because you never know, and you want to have those memories forever.
but was nice, it's like so I enjoy those.
You enjoyed
But
it.
we've done those. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to do this. So keep doing those. But it's like getting to. I mean, I'm sure you know him. Me more. I don't know if we'd like because I don't know what you're gonna clip, but describing me, right? Like getting to know me. I'm HR. I'm more reserved. I'm a more reserved person.
She is very reserved.
Yeah, like I'm crazy, but I like to keep that hidden. But yeah, that's why I don't like to be out here.
She don't like to be out here in these YouTube streets.
Like creating it. I just don't like to be on camera specifically because one, I hate the sound of my voice, and I hate my lips.
You hear your lips.
My lips.
Your lips.
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 ISP.
LSP. Lisp. What's wrong with your lips? I don't hear it.
But yeah.
I don't hear the. But
All right, this
I'm
has
always
been all over the place.
And shout out to Kevin and Chele. Un bel gode. Oh,
That means load of garlic.
garlic. That's right.
That's my brother's channel. So shout out to him.
Shout out to Kevin and Chele. Go check out his YouTube and his TikTok.
Yeah. Follow his YouTube because he needs that one to grow.
Yeah, mostly
The other
YouTube.
ones
Yeah,
are huge already. So
yeah, but you definitely want. I personally want his YouTube to grow.
yeah.
But yeah, he's the one that gifted the Mark Anthony one, right?
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, he gifted the Mark Anthony tickets, and yeah, like I said, it was an amazing experience. And embarrassing or iconic shows you've been to? We haven't really been to any embarrassing or iconic shows.
Embarrassing? No. Embarrassing moments? Maybe. I only have one. You have.
Embarrassing shows?
Yeah, no, we don't have embarrassing.
No. We don't have any embarrassing show moments. Lyrics that hit, dive into emotional or silly lyrics that talk about what they mean to you. I mean, she has this thing with Hello Darkness, My Old Friend, always. And when she explained to me why she loves that song, I was like, oh, okay, makes more sense now. But give him a reason why you love that song so much.
I don't know what
Well, I mean about your grandma and the song has a lot of meaning to you.
Yeah, like I don't know why, but there's certain songs that even though okay, so it's odd. I guess this you would say it's like generational trauma or something like that. But like, in my family came from El Salvador, obviously when the war was going on, and so I never got. I met my grandmother, obviously, and I was close to her. But that song just reminds me of her, like very much. It's just like because her life was so sad, you know, like very sad. And meaning from my dad's side of the family. So I have a special connection to her. So to me, is like that song is like it just I don't know, it just brings like a sadness to me because it's like I don't know what I.
I remember you telling me that, because of all the war that was going on in El Salvador and everything else, that song for some odd reason came up in your head.
Yeah, like that. Anytime I listen to this song, it's like I feel like a connection to my grandma, and it's weird because it's not like she knew that. Like there is a song in Spanish that is like basically that song.
Mhm.
It's the same tune to it, but for whatever reason, that song is just like, it's just like I don't know if you know, but like how like that darkness, that sadness that you have,
Mhm.
and it just seems so familiar. You
Yeah.
know it, and it's like it's so familiar that it ends up being like comforting in a way.
Mhm.
And so I feel like anytime that I'm feeling a certain type of way, I could put that song, and I don't know why, but like it just brings me back to her. And that's why I feel like, to me, that song, I don't know why, and I know that it makes no sense why there's a connection, why anytime I listen to that song or I sing it, I just feel like I have a connection to her because my grandma is like, it's like there's a part in that song where like
Or it's deep.
where it's deeper, like they're talking about like praying to a neon god or something like that, and it just felt like, in that time,
Right.
it just felt like that. Even though I mean I looked up the lyrics and to see like if it had a meaning for when they wrote it or whatever.
Right.
But I feel like that's how like since it's when you're like so low, you try to grasp to something, to that, like to some type of thing, and I feel like that song is similar to me, like because it's like a little connection to her for I don't know why, but it's the oddest thing, but yeah. So although he listens to it and he listens to certain things, that song to me, it can make me like feel super happy because I feel connection to her, or it can take me down, like because it like brings me like to an emotional place for a connection with her that I have no idea why.
That's something that you don't even realize.
I don't, but
you
it's so
have.
special to me that like I only listen to it when I like I love that song, but it's just something that it's just like heavy again. Hello darkness stuff, right? It's like
It's
it's comforting and it's very like
it's definitely a very heavy song. I did hear the original version, and obviously I'd heard the rock version of it.
I love the rock version too. It's like
Yeah.
so.
The one from Disturbed.
I
was
love
good.
that.
So that's understandable. It's just certain songs trigger emotions, and obviously when we were in the car, a lot of songs trigger emotions. When she was just serenading to me passionately, she was like,
I wasn't picturing him, I was like, no, it's just like there's songs that I just like because he's very aggressive when he drives. So he's like focused, and he's just like, if you know Chaz and you've seen his videos, you know that he's the fucking angry little thing, And so that's the way he drives too. So like when I listen to music, I get all pumped up. And so yeah, I was like dancing and I was just serenading him, like all these like songs, and I'm like just to like get him off the
anger train.
Oh, that's fucking weird. To like
Get him off the anger train.
Yeah.
And there you go.
And yeah, and I swear after I started like we got into it, I was just like so into it, like not fighting. I mean like into the music.
Getting into the music.
Yeah, it's just like it felt like the time went by like so fast.
Yeah, it did. It really did. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I feel like that trip wasn't that bad at all. Driving,
It took us through a weird road, and it extended the amount of time.
on our way back,
Yeah, it went from 10 or 11 hours to 17.
to 17.
And we didn't do anything different. It was so odd. It was horrible.
It's like it literally it did take us to somewhere completely different, to the point where, like, if anyone knows Louisiana,
We didn't go through this.
yeah, we didn't go to that side, and we was like, what the hell? Where's
And we didn't ask it to. We put the same.
Yeah,
It was just odd.
it was odd, yeah. But luckily, almost 17 hours worth of music we had to listen to on our way back. And, I didn't even realize, like, what songs were playing because I was just so focused on driving.
He didn't let me drive.
No, yeah. I didn't let her drive.
I drove to it, but
Yeah.
I didn't drive back.
Hmm. I was so pumped, you know? My energy was all the way up. And I was just like, you know what? I got this. I'm just going to go. I got this. And sure enough, you know, we made it through safely, thanks to the power of the Lord and the power of music. Because by God, and obviously the car had a lot to do with it as well.
It was so comfortable.
It was very comfortable
So
to the
good.
point where I was just like, I didn't have any back pains. I didn't feel like getting up.
Mm.
And I was just like, you know what? I can just keep driving.
Those chairs are so comfortable
Yeah.
in that car.
Those chairs are really good.
Mhm.
Very recommended for whoever wants to get a new car to try out 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. She hates when I say Hyundai.
Because they even told us there. And he continues, and I'm like,
I was like,
okay.
Hyundai. No, it's Hyundai. I'm like, no,
And look how he says it, though.
Hyundai. That's
That's why.
exactly how it's supposed to sound in my head.
Yeah. Petty arguments. How we really felt on our first date.
So now we're going to get over to the relationship and comedy and questions now that we have here.
Petty arguments.
Petty Arguments Hall of Fame is crazy the way they word that there. Petty arguments.
I think the only petty arguments that we have is the communication thing, because the Mister here needs help.
Yeah, I don't think we have any.
We don't not like that, no. But like,
No.
except for like, yeah, just
Yeah.
communication is
Communication is one thing.
that was supposed to be very important to him,
It's supposed to be very important.
but he doesn't like to communicate.
Yeah.
I feel like when the one thing that is like is I'm very confrontational, so I like to nip it in the butt immediately. And because we both have very similar like anger issues, but for whatever reason, I'm more calm with him, and he's calm. Don't get me wrong. Like with me, I know that people have said like it's crazy because like if I feel like if my friends were to describe me to him, which they have, they say that I'm aggressive and I'm this and I'm that, and his friends describe him the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yet we don't. We've been together 5 years, and
Yeah. 5 years and we haven't.
together is kind of we're like mellow.
Yeah. That we
Yeah,
calm each other down.
But when it comes to like where we need to communicate something like or something, I need an answer immediately, or I need to fix it right then and there, and he likes to kind of like,
I'll do it next week.
and I can't do that.
She can't do that.
There's like no next week because to like, and I've shown him proof that putting it to the side, it just nips you in the buddy later on.
That's true.
If f's you up even more.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's not like we don't have really arguments about anything.
No, this is literally the most calmest relationship I've ever had in my life, to be quite honest. And to be honest, it's definitely the one of the best. Because
Until the next.
until the next one, she'll be like after this right now.
Like, let me text right now. No.
Our king.
That's his next relationship, Dark King.
But yeah, like argument wise, I feel like we're very mellow when it comes to that type of stuff, which is honestly really good. And when it comes to relationship, less argument is better, obviously. But obviously, there's stuff I still have to work on.
Yeah, and I'm learning too that, like, because I'm very confrontational and I'm very straight to the point. I can't really, I've realized that obviously not everybody can have that type of communication. It's like, there's a way of doing it, with certain people like him, where it doesn't feel confrontational, like we're fighting. It's more of a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all. So and because I'm very confrontational and very aggressive, I've had to learn back, kind of like not do it that way, because it's not healthy.
Yeah.
And that's with anything. Like once you realize like you're coming too aggressive and you wouldn't like somebody doing that to you, then it makes sense,
Yeah.
So I just let it like I say it and I let it marinate, and then I come back to it, and then he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I already, like.
Mm-hmm. I already took care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Bow.
Mm-hmm.
Bow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next question is how we really felt on our first date. Well, on our first date,
he traveled to me.
Yeah, I traveled to her. We were talking for a while before we met, And I said, you know what? I took a leap of faith and just went out to Texas. And,
And I took a leap of faith too.
yeah, took that leap of faith. And my sister recommended a hotel for me. And
Apparently, they didn't look at the location.
no, we didn't look at the location.
It was downtown.
And it was downtown Austin somewhere. And, you know, I didn't know anything about Austin yet. I didn't know anything about Texas yet either. So,
Yeah, because when I asked him, he said, "Oh yeah, it's by I-35." So I'm like, "Okay." So I was like, "Okay." Well, I kind of had an idea of where I had seen La Quinta, and he kind of described, and he's like, "Yeah, that's where it's at." And the thing about it is that the picture that he sent me was not the picture of the place where he stayed.
yeah, it looked completely different from where we stayed.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, we met up. She picked me up from the airport. She took me, very nervous.
I really felt nervous, yeah.
And now I felt I was just like very confident in myself. I was like looking at her, and she wouldn't look at me because she was so nervous.
I was shy. I don't know why I was so shy.
She was very shy.
We had FaceTime, like it's not like we have never seen each other. It was just like, although I'm a very aggressive, like I'm also very shy. It's odd. But yeah, I was very shy. It took a few hours for me to actually like look at him. Like I looked at him, like don't get me wrong, like but I couldn't like stare at him for too long.
Right.
Because it just like I don't know.
You're like, it's like, is this real?
Yeah, it feels so weird.
That's the momentum that I got as well. I was like, huh. And even to myself, like I always thought to myself, I would never. Texas would be the last place I always thought I would be going to, and I always made fun of Texas. You know, like in New York, I was just like Houston, Texas, land of the beef. I'll never go there. And then,
He even said it on the videos too.
yeah, yep, that's so true. I was even saying it on videos before I even met her. I was just like,
We saw them. I was like,
and then look at now. Here I am for 5 years straight now.
no, you haven't been here 5 years.
Okay, I've been here 15 years straight now. And now I know how to talk like this.
You've been here 4 years, right?
4 years I've lived here, yes. We've been together for 5 years, but
Something like
living here 4 years, which is ironically enough, it was Whataburger the first time we took her.
yeah.
Right?
So he wanted to go on a burger
tour, yeah.
or bang bang, and I guess when he told people he was coming to Texas, that's what they recommended, and I was just like,
yeah, everybody recommended, oh yeah, stop by a Whataburger. I was like, all right, cool, Whataburger it is.
So I took him.
And I fell in love with it, to be quite honest.
Where we went, which was on I-35, which again, the area that we went is the area I thought his hotel was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And so we got there, and it's close to me, but I took him, and his burgers were hot.
Like steam was coming out. I was like, oh, okay, this is.
That's how
they must have been like, oh, he's new. Let's give him fresh burgers. So I was like, oh yeah, they must have knew I was new, because there's no way now. Because now that I eat it, I don't feel like it's the same.
It's like obviously you need to go. I don't know. It's a hit and miss, but
it is.
But he loved it so much. He was here for like a week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was here for a week, and he ate that like at least once every day.
I was here for a week, and I admit I felt like relieved. I felt like a lot of my pains were going away.
Like, because he was going, like, when he came, he had just gone through like a very traumatic event. I was also coming out of something
very traumatic as well.
Like, we were going through it
it's like God said, all right, you know what? You guys have to come together.
You're like, you're crazy. You guys be that together.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I know y'all both crazy. So here y'all go. Y'all can tame each other. There you go.
Yeah, and it scared me because when I met his friends, that's one of the things that they told me is like, he's so calm with you. I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, it scared me because I'm like, could in the long run, like, could we explode or something like that? But I mean, also, I feel like it has to do with age. I feel like we've matured a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
a whole lot. So,
I mean, if you go to your past, obviously, you're always going to find like people that will talk shit about you because of the person that you were back then, we all did bad stuff, but I feel like it scared me for a little because everybody describes him as a very aggressive person, angry, and
Mm-hmm.
my friends and I know that I'm like that. So I'm like, but it's weird how much more calm I am with him. I think one thing I've learned is like I'm way more patient with him than I've ever been with anybody. Probably because I know his traumas or whatever. You know, like when you're younger and you're dated, you don't talk about your traumas.
Yeah, true.
You don't like that's not something you just don't. And with him, it's like we told each other, you know, like what we were going through because we started off as friends,
Yeah,
or at least, yeah,
try to.
and it was like, you know, so it was,
I feel like try to.
and so it was, so I just like, I would like, I don't know if this is gonna sound bad, but like, I was like trying to make him like my gay friend. You know, like you girls have like this. I have a gay best friend already, but I wanted to put him like in that section because he just felt so
comfortable.
I felt so comfortable with him. Yeah, and I told that to everybody, even to my sister now. Like today, I was telling him like, although I'm not happy right now, like with certain things, I'm not saying between us, but it's just like, you know how you with yourself, you know, I've never felt as comfortable with anybody as I feel with him. You know, it's like it's just like there's a sense of
like
safety.
Yeah, safety, protection. Yeah,
Like there's things that I might not like, but he like, you know, like he makes me feel comfortable with certain things, and that's one thing about him is like I do feel very safe around me. Like he makes me feel safe even in the street or anywhere. Like there's always like a sense of protection that he has around me, and it's not. I don't know if you've ever been in a relationship where like they treat you a certain way indoors, but they treat you a different way outdoors. But with him, between both of us,
Yeah.
we're the same way everywhere.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so it's like what if I'm and I never like myself, like I never to describe myself, I feel like I'm not saying I'm submissive because I've never would say that like about myself. I was very like I didn't want to cater to you know, or anything like that to my partner. But with him I just like I feel like I could be both, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's like what you do with your family, you know, you want to be gentle with your family, but you also don't want to, you know, you can be yourself.
Yeah.
Completely yourself.
Literally. Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's exactly what it is right now.
Literally. That's exactly how I feel I can be myself in every aspect and not be judged or anything like that. And it's a great feeling, you know? Because you don't want to be in a relationship where you don't feel comfortable or you don't feel acknowledged in ways that you don't, you know, feel like, oh, okay, why am I here? You know?
Or if there's like things like that, I feel like there's things that he does or I do like to kind of get like a sense of what that person will say or do. And instead, I feel like we encourage ourselves to be more like if he likes something, he wants to see like how I would feel about it. I could sense like he wants my opinion on something without telling me that he wants my opinion on it.
Yeah.
And so it's like
That's
I feel
true.
like we both do the same thing.
I definitely I have her drink like the drinks first, you know. It's just something about it. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I like her reactions to stuff first. So I'm just like, all right,
anything.
here you go. You can eat this first. You can drink this first, and I
Even if it's stuff that I've already
we already have, yeah.
He always wants me to take the first bite or the first drink of what he's having.
It's something I don't know what it is, but it's just I just feel like doing it. It just feels comfortable to me. It just feels great. But our first date, like I said, oh yeah, let me finish the hotel thing where I thought she was gonna get up and leave.
I was, to be honest,
because of where the hotel was located. You know, the hotel was located. I mean, we had the local crackhead on the side, just like
I've never told anybody. I've never told anybody where he stayed because I would. One of my brothers, my sister, and my mom would judge me because it's like you know, like it was just like I didn't know.
Yeah, and I didn't know.
It was just so like
I'm like
I was scared.
The pictures look like it looks like a great looking hotel in the suburbs somewhere, you know. And
that was definitely an old picture.
That was like when they first started, and we got there. I was like, oh, it's one of these. It looks like a.
It felt like a motel.
Yeah, like a Motel 8 or something like that. Yeah, it was La Quinta. But it didn't feel like La Quinta because I've been to La Quintas that are really nice. And this one was just, like I said, the local crackhead was right across the street. You know, they had panhandles around the place. And I'm just like, it's not what they advertised, but okay.
I sabotaged everything.
She did. But yeah, after that, she had told me, you know, that she was gonna leave.
I was like, the sun's about to go down.
Peace.
But I'll be here tomorrow.
He said, I'll be here tomorrow. Like, you know, I grabbed, I was like, come here, and kiss you, and then bow, slap the word of fine, so she can't leave.
No, I took him to Whataburger.
Yeah, Whataburger was the initial thing right there.
We just, yeah.
And then we did try, you know, a lot of bang bangs and stuff, but it felt.
Bang bangs are like when you go from one restaurant to another. Like basically you get one like appetizer or something that you would share with somebody so you don't get full so you could go to the next one.
Yeah.
So if you hear him say that, don't think something bad.
Yeah, not bang bang as in sexual. Different thing. Okay.
Or the pew pew.
Or pew pew. Or yeah, we're not doing bang bangs or the other bang bang.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just food wise.
so
Okay. You gotta like, you know, you gotta make them know like what it is.
It'll be so nasty. But yeah, it was so little.
It was.
It was little, and it was, I was scared.
Yeah.
I was like, they're gonna kill him. They're gonna kill him here.
It's like, yeah, he came to Texas just to die.
Thankfully I had gotten another hotel too.
Oh yeah.
Because it was his birthday weekend.
It was my birthday weekend.
So I told him, since he was here like for 6 days.
Yeah, it was 6 days. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was here like.
Tickets were so cheap. They were like $20 first going and coming back. I was like, this was during COVID time. Okay. I was like, I missed those deals.
It was so cheap. He was here often.
Mm-hmm.
I swear he could have left the same day if he wanted to. Like that's how cheap. And that's one thing that we talked about. Like if we didn't feel it, and we talked about that actually. Like, if we didn't feel it, he was okay with leaving. You know, like.
Yeah.
I
was like, yeah, you know, I'll head out.
Because we attempted to meet each other in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because I was in Chicago for like almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
And over there, the tickets were from New York to were legit $20 at that time.
Yeah.
And so
they were very cheap.
think for when he came here, they were like $60.
Yeah.
Or like round trip or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, I'm sorry, each way. But in Chicago, they were legit. One way tickets, $20.
Yeah.
And I remember because we screenshot that, and I wish we still had the picture, but
yeah, screenshot it, and it was like, okay, I can just go back there, come back, you know. And it's crazy. Ironically enough, I still haven't been to Chicago yet at all.
We wanted to go for my birthday.
Yeah.
We wanted to go to New York. We had to, but with the time, it was unrealistic to. And then plus, we did not want to fly, and we wanted to be able to do it within one day.
Yeah.
So that it wouldn't be like coming back. Because, I mean, you can like road trip all you want, right? But going, you're excited and stuff. But when you come back, you don't want to come back more tired than when you came, you know? I mean, than when you left.
When you left, yeah.
So, because then you're going to be like, you know, but thankfully that trip was not like that. So it was just very mild. So we wanted to go to New York. But then realistically, we looked at the times, how long it would be, and it was just, we would have been there like legit a day.
Yeah, it wasn't going to work to just go there for that one day.
And then same thing to Miami, like Orlando, we would have been there for like a day.
Yeah. Because
it takes 17 hours, so you would have to split that, you know, and I was only off for 5, so it was like.
Yeah. It wouldn't be feasible for that. No.
Yeah, and then we were gonna go to New Mexico. But that was.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna work. We have to
time frame. Yes.
I mean, New Mexico.
New Mexico was gonna work. We were gonna try to do like, because we were looking at economic, but also time friendly, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
For New Mexico because it was better to just go. What cost us to go to Miami, it was going to be the same price. Miami. Me to Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
The outskirts of Florida.
Yeah, Panama City.
What it cost us to stay there for those 4 days was the same price, if not cheaper, than going to New Mexico for just 2 days.
Yeah. That's true. And in New Mexico, we were just gonna go there for White Sands, and White Sands is very it's in an area where there's no Airbnbs, there's hardly any hotels, and whatever is there, they cost a lot of money, or it's just really raggedy looking in ways. It just didn't feel comfortable for us to go. But that was the main thing we wanted to do over there. So we would have to just go past it, like go to Arizona or something like that. In order, if we wanted to go to White Sands, we would have to go to like Vegas, you know.
So yeah, because the hotels in Vegas were so cheap, and a lot of what we're traveling right now because we're trying to save money is like with points,
Yeah, and then flying is not really an option right now. So we're like, well, at least for me, I'm not flying, not flying. So I decided just to like no. But those days that we could fly,
Those were wonderful.
Those were amazing, amazing. I wish those tickets were that price again.
Yeah.
But let's see
Yeah.
what
We sidetracked again.
Yeah.
So how we really felt about each other, I was nervous. I thought he was cute, like, exactly what we've seen. Like sometimes you see each other and you're like,
I don't know about this one.
But one thing I liked about it is like the biggest smile when we saw each other is how he smiled. It was just like, because it felt like, I don't know, like when you've gone to meet like somebody for the first time or something, you feel awkward or like you get this weird feeling.
Yeah.
And you're like, I know I'm not gonna go, so you just want to leave, but it didn't feel like that. It was very.
It didn't feel like that at all. It felt more comfortable than anything else. I definitely felt very comfortable. I felt comfortable. I was like, I looked at her. I was like, yep, she looks exactly like how she looks like in the pictures. No catfishing, She didn't ask me for no Roblox card or Steam card. That's because those times were crazy, Just had people asking me for Steam cards.
It was darting. No,
but I felt.
I feel like we if I could explain it, it was just like it felt very natural.
Yeah.
Because he was goofy and we were talking, but I'm still the same. Like what you're seeing here, where I smile like this or whatever, because I'm a little shy. I was like the same thing with him.
Literally, that's basically what it was. It just felt natural. Felt like we've known each other for so long, and I was just like here just to see her again, Even though this is our first time seeing each other, it just felt like we were seeing each other. Well, to me, I felt like I was seeing her again, because we would be on FaceTime and actually look at each other and talk to each other, and it felt natural to me. I was like, yeah, she's very comfortable to be around with. She's very comfortable to talk to, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I think this is definitely gonna work. And she was trying to gay friend zone me for the longest. And I was like, you know what? I ain't gay.
You know how I don't know if you a girl. I'm sorry. I know I'm not a girl. I'm women know that when like videos for reason like we try to friend zone them because it's like very like it just feels like this, like I don't lose because I want to keep it, so I'll befriend him. That's what it was.
Literally what it was.
Because it just feels it's the best way I don't feel it was just
it was definitely it was really really natural. Like I really felt like I know before we met. It's like okay, this is good. Obviously when we stayed there, she did special for my birthday. I was just like, wow, I've never had that. That's such a beautiful feeling. She went all out for my birthday.
I said to him, guys.
She did. Sexified.
No, no. I decorated like I set it up so when we moved, so we on the day of his birthday we switched hotels.
Yeah, we did.
And that was the plan the entire time.
Yeah.
So I had told, because obviously both of us weren't working during that time. So I was like, well, it's your birthday. Like you pay, since you're paying to come here and you're paying for, the hotel, pay you for this amount of days and I'll pay, the other days.
Yeah.
Because I like to make things fair all the time. So I got, from the day of his birthday till the day he left, which I think was 3 days.
Yeah.
Something like that. I got that and the hotel, I had set it up so they can fix it up for his birthday.
They set it up beautifully.
Unfortunately, the cake.
Oh yeah, the cake
You guys can look at that vlog. The cake never got delivered.
We was like, okay. Well, it was.
That's
Yeah, beautiful. It's beautiful.
affordable.
Everything was so affordable. It's, yeah, very affordable. We've taught about patience.
Yeah, because he with me too.
Yeah.
Because like he's a pain or something, which I also because just
Good
like
teacher.
let's sit there and work. With him, I'm very super.
And with me, I'm super patient. Probably because everyone that knows me in New York knows I ever have one. It's like,
He's very. There's like moments, like not that even if I was just like, what was wrong? Just like for me, this is new to me. Like where like I will request like, oh, I like comfort me, and he's very comforting. Doesn't ask questions, and that's one thing he does. And but the fact I'm going out of my way to ask for that, that's very my I need become like for those things with him. He doesn't make it feel like I'm asking for too much or if bother him.
at all. I don't like that's that's something that I feel like she's going to something that I like just come to me. Like that's all you have to do. I don't care what it is. And it's something that's that's a feeling that she gives me as well. And down with that, she me, are you okay? And all this other stuff. And I'm a very close person, but I like to shove wants to feels kind of, post and I don't like a lot of people. So it's like when it comes to when she asks me, are you okay? And she's either or I am okay, and sometimes it feels like, but yeah, it's just my face being awkwardly weird.
He has a resting bitch face.
I do.
Like me.
I have a very bad, and I get that from New York because
I get that from LA.
Because New York, you have to walk around like, and it's like I haven't left that face back in New York yet, and I don't think I'll ever leave that face. To be honest, I actually enjoy having that face because you never know. It just when you're walking out there, you just want to feel like, don't bother me, just
Sifting in LA.
yeah. It says just like she said, resting bitch face. It's like, just leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to hear anything. But in actuality, it's fine. Like, I'm a big cuddly teddy bear. Just talk to me. But I'm happy that we definitely feel so much mutual things together, which is so weird because we never, like, our personalities aren't like that and like with other people, but only with each other. And that's one thing I love that we are both very equal when it comes to the way we feel.
Yeah, we've talked very openly about our past traumas, which is again, you don't typically talk to people about that, like
Yeah.
But I get around like asking like about his past or like questions about certain things just to get a better understanding too. And I openly talk about my past too, like like past relationships too. Like I feel like, okay, you're not supposed to talk about your exes or anything like that, but I'm not talking about in a negative light. It's more of like learning from those mistakes that we did then to now, like to try to avoid that, because shouldn't it be that way?
Yeah, that should be, and especially in our age category, we have to like act more mature than what we used to act, and I think that's where we both learned to mature a lot during this relationship, and we understand a lot more, and a lot of it is her family definitely took me in, especially during my toughest times, and
Yeah, my family will beat me and keep him.
like
They definitely like when I like let's say when I'm being dramatic and I'm just like messing around, like they're like, no, leave him alone. Like they definitely love him very much and genuinely care for him.
Yeah. And
not because of my partner, but because of him.
Yeah. I
But
love
also
that. Yeah. No, I love that about them. Like her family has made me feel so comfortable to the point where it feels like a real family, because I've never been around that. I've never been around an actual family like that. My family's completely separated.
Well, it's a little family too.
Yeah, it's a little family, but
they have a little family
with a big heart, a very big heart. That's hers.
My family is
huge.
I wouldn't say like a lot, like not the
She has over
typical.
100 people
No,
in
but
one
like
block areas.
no, it's not true. But it's obviously bigger than his family. But
Hmm.
yeah, my family really like because one thing about me is I never introduced people that I dated to my family
Yeah,
unless I was like that was they knew that, and I've
it was
always
gonna be
said
serious.
whoever they ever met, it was going to be a serious relationship because that's how I was taught to do. Like, you don't bring them because my family is very welcoming, and we get you anybody, right? You get emotionally attached to them as well, and so once you bring them in, it's a family member. You
Hmm.
can't just kick them out.
Yeah,
So, and that's the way it is with my aunts and things like that. It's like you don't do that. So you bring them unless you're serious. And of course, if something happens after that, then that's obviously, but don't just bring every girlfriend you have,
yeah,
or like your one night stand. I don't know, something like that.
yeah.
But yeah, because my family, like my mom's side of the family, they date for a sole purpose, which is to get married and
Hmm.
have kids. So I was taught that way, and
Hmm.
it's the same way here.
Yeah. Yeah, we both grew up in the same household, household rules as well. Like her family's Catholic, my family's Catholic as well. I'm not
Practicing.
practicing, nor was I ever baptized, but we grew up around the same type of mindset when it comes to stuff like that. Like my grandma always told me that same thing. Like, the person you get with is the person you're gonna marry. If you ever help me, if I ever meet somebody, that's the person that's you're gonna get married to. And yeah, and then shit happens, but then it all folds into coming coming back to a better light. Well, especially when you get older, you start realizing all the stuff that you shouldn't have done. And then once you get older, you're like, and you find that person you really truly love and want to be with, you're like, holy shit, okay, I know what I've done, you know, and that's how I feel so comfortable and so loving, and not only does she makes me feel like loving and cared for, but her family as well, and that's something I generally admire, especially with being with her. It's just like I get the security of having a real relationship plus having an actual family that.
And that is not only like from my mother
Hmm.
and my sister, so from my brothers too. They
Yeah.
generally are very, very like loving and very like like I'm here. If you need me, like
Hmm.
regardless of everything, like.
Yeah,
Hmm.
always, and that's what I love about that. So there's a lot of things we taught each other, and a lot of things that I've learned from her. And obviously, we've even spoke about, like, if things don't work out, we can always be friends and everything else.
Yeah, I don't want to. And I know it's easier said than done, but like I always say, like the moment that things are just not working out, it's better to just end them, and instead of cheating or something, like you get like uninterested, just say something and go. I don't. There's no need because we've have so much trauma. Like there's no need. Like I would rather like you grieve or
Mm.
I grieve the relationship than to feel like the grief and
Yeah.
the distress and like everything that comes from cheating or like
Oh yeah,
abuse or anything
for
that.
sure. Especially since we've been through that already.
Because thankfully our communication is pretty decent. I just mess with him about like certain things because I have to bring him up, but
Yeah.
and I try to teach him like other ways of like communicating because he was so used to like aggression too. Like I slowly have been. I feel like the past months before we met, like it was like I was like preparing for him. It was so odd. That's why, and I.
And we're back on. Sorry, I had to fix up some stuff. Yeah, we're back. Where were we?
Oh, I was saying that before meeting him, I felt like, well, now that you put it together, it felt like we were both in preparation.
Hmm.
Although not him, because it was just like his was a little bit different. But I mean me, because I never wanted something like this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like now I could say like maybe I made myself believe I didn't want something like this. It was just like something I was so against having a partner or like or I don't even know what it was, but it was just like so it felt like I was like prepping for him, meaning like I was because I'm definitely more caring, more understanding, and because of what had just happened to me too, because I had, something happened to me. So it was like a very traumatic moment for me as well. But, the 4 years before he came along, it was something traumatic happened to me that was like, it took me completely off,
Yeah.
like, so it was like, it just changed me completely. So, and this is who I am now. So I'm like more open, like I'm more sensitive to certain things, more like, I guess, what I was supposed to be and what I wasn't, I didn't allow myself to be before.
Right.
So now I feel like and I say that because I feel like that's what he needed as well. He needed like an emotional support person as well, a partner, someone that understands and kind of not necessarily judge, because I don't feel like it was my right to be judging anything, because I was also coming from something really weird, so it was like, it was like we came together and in no judgment zone.
Yeah.
In a very like, and I told him this from the very beginning, is I don't care what you were, as long as he wasn't like a pedo or a killer.
Okay.
I didn't care what his past relationships were like or anything like that, because I knew my past wasn't that great either, because I knew the damage I had done, or like the person that I wasn't a great person with past relationships. So, and that was again because of past traumas and stuff like that. So it was like I was definitely coming to him, I would say, in a clean slate. Like I'm, like,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's worked.
Oh yeah, that's definitely worked a lot.
Because we're like I told him I don't, and I told him very, very soon on, like, I don't care, like, I didn't care, because like sometimes exes come around or something like that, or somebody like they talk smack, like whatever I might have heard or whatever he might have heard about me, like I don't, like,
Yeah.
doesn't matter, like, because that's not who we are today,
Yep. Exactly.
and that's one thing, is like I don't care what you were in your past, but just give me the very best of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I told him, and I feel like we've given each other that. We might not have much, but I feel like we've given each other a lot.
Oh yeah, we definitely have, for sure. We not much to give. Like when I first came here the second time, it was to look for apartments and stuff like that.
You don't want to put it here?
No, because the echoes. And since I was there wanting to stay in Texas, because of all the trauma that I was going through in New York, I was just like, you know what, I need to just move away from all the negativity. And went ahead, took the leap of faith, and the second time around, decided to find a place here.
A few months later, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Find a place here in Texas, and ironically enough, or I guess God had a plan for us, and things just didn't go the way I was expecting it to go.
Yeah, it's like they took the rug out of under his feet.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I was like, nah, you know what?
that was very traumatic too, like the situation.
That was something that I was just like very hurt about.
It felt defeat. He felt defeated.
Yeah.
It was a very,
And then it was going to be to the point where I had to come back to New York with feeling that defeation, that feeling of, damn, I'm back here again, and like New York tried to drag me back to it, and she was like, nope.
I didn't.
She was nope.
I was like, go ahead.
Like, get out.
I was like,
go back to New York.
Because again, as I mentioned, although I was prepared, like I was willing to do certain things, I wasn't prepared to do so much, But like, here comes my family again, like it's again, like when he says that my family is very welcome, that's what he means. Also, it's like my mom, my family was like, like it was more like when you love someone, and I hold her words very close to my heart, because it's true, right? Like when you truly love somebody, you don't walk away from someone that you love, like if you she definitely sat me down and was like, if you love that man, and you truly love him the way you say that, and then you stick to your man, like, and you show him that you'll be there.
Yeah.
And that's something I was not ready to do. But when I saw him, and I saw him how defeated he was, and I felt like if I do that, it's like me, like me just kicking him and spitting on him too. You know, it was like, you don't do that. And it's just like, it was a moment of, like I said, like it was like,
Yeah, it was definitely to the point where
it was really,
if things didn't go the way that it went now, I would have been back to New York, and 9 out of 10 would have been pretty much homeless, and it just felt. I just came to Texas to find an apartment, and then something happened and wrecked everything apart from what I was gonna do, and her family and herself was just like, you know what, if you really love someone, you do what you can, and
and you don't expect something in return. And I know that in this generation, it's hard to say that because everybody is like, there's a lot of situations where they're used.
yeah,
You're using something like my mom, and I know this is probably a good thing and a bad thing.
mm,
Is like, but it's like we believe in, either karma or like rewards, whatever. Like regardless, like if it works or it doesn't, like that what you did, what role you played in that,
yeah,
so it's like she says, like what she told me was like, if you I just felt like I was upset, like, over everything that was happening, but it was mostly because I was put in a situation that I wasn't ready for.
yeah,
It was
makes
like,
sense, yeah,
in a way I would kind of say it's like it was a time to grow up, and I wasn't ready because in my past relationships it was never too serious. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like,
I forgot that camera. When you put your arms up, it lets you know, like, oh, I'm right here.
yeah. But one thing I think we taught each other is like, if you love someone, like you show them you love them. You don't kick them down. When they're down.
Right.
It's like you stick to them, like, and you fight with them. Like that's what you do. And whether if it's your battle or not, you fight with them.
Yeah.
And yeah, you might not my fear is always like, but what about what am I gonna get out of this? And it's like, but you were a good person, like you loved him and you gave him that. If he throws that away, then that's on him.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's true, and
that would be my karma.
that's his karma, that he takes that, it's like not yours, and it's true. And when she said that to me, because I was like, no, I don't want this. I was like, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
I don't want this. But when I saw it, like when you truly look at someone that you love and they don't have to say anything, but their eyes tell you everything. And when you actually love someone and you see them that way, it's like you don't want to lose that, because that when people are in the lowest, like you don't know what they might do, and you don't want to be part of that.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be part of that story where, like, especially knowing his past, I'm like, I don't want to be part of that, like I want to show him that there's good people, that there's good, because what he has shown me too. So it's like, and so that's how that started. So I feel like, again, that's where he comes and talks about like my family is, because even from day one that they met him, it was like they've
welcomed me with open arms.
Yeah, like it's like if she loves you, like that's exactly what it is. And actually, my brother told him that. Because if she loves you, then you must be a really good person, because I'm not one to be like that. Like I can easily tell
from what she was telling me before, like she'll drop in a second.
Yeah, like I don't.
She's like, nope, next.
Yeah,
nope,
like I don't.
Next.
And I'm okay with that, because I know that, like, I've always like believed that, like, it's like if I feel something weird, it's like, no, thank you. I don't want that for, like, I don't need to put that effort in you.
Yeah.
Or like, and that means in any relationship. That means friends, coworkers. That means anything. If I get a weird vibe from you, no, thank you. Next. And that's always the way I've been. And it's just because the people that are close to me, they are like lifelong. Like, and that's why there is so little. Because when I let you in, and I will be there for you regardless.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, that's just our story,
We taught each other, like, it's like you go hard for the next person, for the person, the people you love.
Yeah, it's like we naturally were ready for this. We naturally were like, okay, I'm ready for her personality. She's ready for mine's. And it was just like, for some odd reason, it just felt, like she said, natural in the beginning. It's like we learn from each other's mishaps and stuff that we've been through in our lives before we met each other. And then being together, we learned to just not be that person that we were before. And then, it's like situations either humbled us or we've already been humbled, and we're just like trying our best to be more mature. And then those situations led to us being together. And it's just like we can focus on each other and then be prosper from it. And that's one thing about this relationship that I've learned. It's like, okay, I can see myself growing even more with my patience, with my attitude, with everything else. A lot of stuff that I left back in New York stayed in New York, and because that's just the person I didn't want to be. That's just the person that I want to leave behind completely. And especially when I took her to New York for the first time, that persona wasn't even there either. And I was just like, wow, I was proud of myself, like teaching each other of how we can be, how we see the world together. It really resonated with me to know that she can be that person, and vice versa. I can be that person for her as well, so that we don't have to have each other fall. We know exactly how to pick each other back up. That is one major important thing too. And there's a lot of situations when we visit New York that made me want to get my attitude back up to how I used to be. And then I just looked at her and was like, nah, not worth it. Not gonna lose something over nothing,
Like they're not worth it. Like the situation or the person was just not worth taking you out of what you are now,
Yeah.
taking you like step backwards. Yeah, everybody even said it when we saw his friends. I was like, to me, because when he's around me, I only knew the very like playful and like smiley, Chaz and all this other, and everybody's like, who the hell
who's
is
this
this?
guy?
Who is that? And I was just like, what do you mean? This wasn't that what he is? Like, and he's
And they're like, no, he's completely different. He's like, not only did he gain weight, but
I did too. We gain a lot.
I mean, that's what love does. We just have to
Don't get
work
me
on
wrong,
it
I've always been
together.
chubby, but good lord.
I've never been chubby, always skinny. But she didn't like me like that, so it's a good thing. She saw pictures of me how I looked when I was in New York. And she liked the Chaz that was on screen when she saw me, but before that, no.
He like a little teenager, and I don't want to be dating a teenager. It looked weird.
Yeah, my body, everything was so. It just felt like I was a teenager still.
Okay. Like the way he dressed, and like certain things. It was just like I always tell him, like, because I know that people tell him like, oh, you gained so much weight. I'm like, everybody tells him here. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, although, I mean, yes, he has gained because we know because of his size, his pants.
Yep, my pants.
But I will say, like, I know that, like, there's this thing, like, where people feel so comfortable talking about your weight or whatever. But, like, this is, like, he looks like a man. He doesn't look like a little teenager. That's my thing. Like,
compared to how I
Like,
looked before.
Yeah, like when I look at him, I'm like, "Oh, this is a man. Like I'm not dating,
A
because
skinny teenager.
yeah, like it feels weird to think about that. Like the size of clothes he was wearing, I'm like, a small. Like, are you serious? Like,
Yeah, I went from a small to then medium.
well, I'm not saying that it's bad to be that size. I'm not saying that. It's just like we would look
I
awkward.
mean, it's different, yeah, because we're older, so it would definitely feel like
He looked like a gamer. Like, you know what I'm saying? He dressed like it, meaning like, and always a monster on his hand. It looked like he was a little crack all the time. Like when I see stuff like videos, he looks so hyper and like this and that.
Yeah.
But yet, outside of that, people would say that he was an angry person, And I'm
angry man.
Yeah, like Shadow Fox told me the first time. He's like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because he's so happy, like, and I haven't seen him like that in such a long time, and I'm like, I feel like special, you know, for him to, because that's his best friend, one of his best friends. So it was like,
That known me for so many decades.
because they were like he's so like he's smiling and he's this and that's, and then I was just like, is he not like this all the time? I was like, am I dating a fake or what? But it was like,
The smiling was never there because I was always angry and looking angry because of where I was and who I was over there, situation wise. But once I came here, I found peace.
and the people have told him the same thing about me.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm happy, and I know there's a lot of people that don't like to do like show, like, is it PTA? Is that what it's called?
Ooh.
What is it called? Like when you show like you like affection in public,
I forgot the term, what they use for that. But yeah.
whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I've never done that. Like I only showed affection to my family. That's it. Like not for the other person. And then with him is like completely different. Like we like again like what we are here at home is exactly the same thing that we are outside.
And that's the beauty of that.
It's like so very like it's just, I mean, I don't know, like that. I feel like that's what I say. Like it's odd, but like two angry birds, like
Two angry chihuahuas.
apparently like calm each other down in a way.
That's true.
It's true, like it is like, and it's not like something that you're holding back. Like at least me, like I feel very like
Yeah.
I've been like yeah, like a very calm person, more like
I learned how to express my anger in a different way. And that's another thing I've learned too. Because I used to take out my anger on a lot of stuff. And that wasn't healthy, you know? But learn how to channel that anger in different ways, which is good. I could have had a lot more gray hairs earlier. Oof.
But yeah, that's why I say like it's like we were preparing each other, because I feel like you do prepare like unknowingly, like you're preparing yourself for like what's next, and
Yeah.
and I feel like we found each other at the right time, even though it was such a bad time.
Yeah.
You know, but it was like for us it was
Bad time, but the right time.
like, because I tell him all the time, I'm so glad I didn't meet you before,
Yeah.
because I would have been part of like his past, like really like I was a very shitty person, and I know that. I know it, like with partners, like yeah, I was a very shitty person, and so and I can admit that because I realize that now, you know.
Yeah.
And so like, so I'm glad I wasn't part of that.
Makes sense.
So about living together?
No. We're going to save that for the next one.
Oh, okay.
So we'll definitely save that for the next one because it's just running out of space on my computer.
Oh, one thing we taught each other, it's like funny things from our like again like it's unknowingly now, like because when he said that we were gonna record, I was like, oh, and he showed me what we should discuss. I was like, I showed him, are you gonna tell them how you show me something now, like like when he points at something, like when he needs something, he's like, yeah. Because apparently that's the thing from El Salvador, like we're like, can you get me that? Like that? You know, we've shown each other like the funniest things that you don't even know, like.
Yeah. And it's funny because I don't know. I feel like it's a Spanish thing because we done that over there, and I'm like, oh, you do that same thing too. Oh.
But he does it more now because he's like, give me that.
Can you give me that? Pass me that. Pass me that.
You're like, what the fuck are you?
Any sane person would be like, what the fuck? But not us. We're like, right there. Can you pass me that? Right there.
But yeah, it's just, I know this was all over the place.
No, I mean, we got a good segment in there. Next time we're most likely going to stream it so it doesn't be, I didn't realize it was going to take too much
But
space.
maybe like let them know in advance so that they can put questions, so we have something to have a conversation about.
We'll do that. So that's it for us today. Is this thing dead? I think it is. But yeah, I got to get ready for work in the morning, unfortunately.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. It is 12 o'clock already. Happy Easter and happy 420.
The Lord.
That's right. But yes, we'll catch you guys in the next podcast. This our little a vibe called Us podcast segment.
And as you can see, we're all over the place.
Yeah, that was a good
This is
vibe.
actually us. We're legit like our playlist.
Yeah, all over the place. Yeah, that's what we should call this, all over the place.
And that's how our conversations go too.
Yeah, they do.
They're like,
Yeah.
y si no, allá.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. Until the next time, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.